Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andrew Stott, I'm the Emperor of Stomaria, and today I'm giving a live reaction to the Kingdom of Waywood's most recent condemnation video of our condemnation video of their condemnation video. So with that mouthful out of the way, and it took me about 7 attempts to actually do that intro, and I'm still not happy with it, but we're sticking with it. So with that intro out of the way, the Kingdom of Waywood and the Empire of Stomaria have been having this little playful banter on our YouTube channels where we're condemning one another and then responding to those condemnations and all the rest of it. And this will be the final installment, certainly for us at least. I can't speak for the Kingdom of Waywood because we don't actually collaborate in that way on our content. And I think a lot of people might think we do because we discuss quite often similar topics and sometimes at similar times. But this is purely coincidence. You know, we don't really consult each other on what we're going to be talking about or posting about. Like King Raoul, I kind of just do this on the fly. If I have an idea that pops into my head, think, oh yeah, I'll make a video about that, record the video, and then a few days later, I'll post it. And then I'll get a message from Raoul saying, I've just made a video about that, I'm going to release that in a few days' time, and we have a chat about it. But in terms of like organized collaboration, it's not something we've ever felt necessary. Because we're very much on the same wavelength in a lot of ways. And I think that's something I just wanted to get out of the way now, in that this is all jest. This is all, as I say, just a bit of banter between myself and King Raoul. We are good friends. In fact, it was only a few days ago that I was at the Kingdom of Waywood with Eleanor, and King Raoul had Torren, the young Prince of Waywood, and we had a bit of a chat there, a bit of a jab at one another there as well. And he actually said that this particular video, which I haven't seen yet, is maybe a bit harsher than he wanted it to be. So I look forward to seeing what exactly he's put in there. And I've also been told to wait to the very end because there's something at the very end that he feels that I should see. He didn't specify what that was, but we're going to look through this video together and we're going to find out what he has said about the Empire of Stomaria and as a response to our condemnation video, of their condemnation video. So yeah, I think that's about all I wanted to cover for this particular topic. I will say that I'm not like a tech guy, so this is the best kind of setup that you're going to get from me in terms of getting a live response. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen to the condemnation video with my headphones on so you can't actually hear it, but then after I've actually recorded this, I'm going to post the video in the edits, if you like, on the screen, so you'll be able to see it, but I won't be able to see it from here, if you see what I mean. So I'm just going to watch it on my laptop. But yeah, with all those technicals out the way, let's get started. Here we go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am King Raoul Halvar of the Waywood territories, and today we will be condemning the condemnation video of our condemnation of Stomaria. We stand here together, united with pride, beneath our flag, waving gallantly on high. Across the land our people did ride, noble steeds of steel. Against the tide, longboats and galleons, they bring our people home. The old gods, they called us to the sacred stones. Nomads together, no longer we roam. The old gods are watching, and of this we know. United together in Midgard below, we reap the fruits of the seeds we sow. For from tiny acorns the mighty oak grows. We're busting out of the box, we're breaking the mold. We're no longer trusting the fairy tales we're sold. No longer buying the poisons we're sold. The men and women of Waywood are going back to the old. As many of you may have already noticed, a retaliation video was posted by Stomaria not so long ago in retaliation to our condemnation video of Stomaria. It saddens me deeply to see Stomaria respond in such a way. I expected better of our emperor. I did not expect him to be so forthright and so confident with his accusations and slanderous comments in regards to myself, calling me a liar and calling me all sorts of other insults, which I will not dignify by repeating. Now, in this condemnation video, Andrew stated that I was giving him a backhanded compliment by saying that he was polite, well-mannered, and well-groomed. He said that this was an insult. I am saddened by this, that he would be offended by my complimentary remarks. These were nothing but compliments intended to fill the emperor with joy and happiness. These were supposed to lift him and give him a boost in confidence. But alas, it would appear that the Emperor of Stomaria has decided to be petty and to be a bit of a snowflake, something that we did not expect from the Emperor, for him to respond in such a way. It would appear Emperor Andrew is merely throwing his toys out of the pushchair and trying to find a reason to attack Waywood and to retaliate in such an aggressive manner. I don't understand how such compliments could provoke such aggression and violence. We received a comment on our condemnation video from Stomaria claiming this now means war, something that Emperor Andrew has failed to mention in any of his videos since he made that remark. So the question is, Emperor Andrew, are we at war or not? Or is this indeed just a show of bravado and a threat to get us back into line? Is this your attempt to prevent a rebellion or an uprising? Because if the Emperor can be insulted by our compliments and he can be this sensitive, I would hate to know how he would respond to genuine criticism. I would just like to kindly remind the Emperor of Stomaria that Waywood has more citizens than you do. On the topic of the Emperor of Stomaria's grooming habits and presentation, he condemned us for suggesting him being well groomed because he can't grow a beard. I was saddened by this, Andrew. I was, because you did mention this previously to me in person. I remember, and I should have been more thoughtful. However, I have taken the opportunity to show you what you would look like with a beard. There we are, Emperor Andrew. That is a beard for you. And you can share this, and you can give this to people, and you can make this your profile picture, or print it off and put it on your mantelpiece, so that you will always be able to see yourself with a beard. You could even pretend that the picture is a mirror. I also thought I would experiment with other beards. And I thought this one was particularly dashing. And this one may be a good choice for when you get older. We are trying to do nothing but support Stomaria, and nothing but be their friend and ally. We are trying to work with them. However, this is becoming increasingly difficult, as Andrew has again proven that his snowflake attitude towards us has caused a big rift between Stomaria and Waywood, claiming that we were having a dig at him because he didn't have his own car. This saddens me again further. I have nothing but remorse and regret. And I apologize, Andrew, that you yourself have to pry a tricycle from a child, your own child, to travel on personal errands. But do not fret, for Waywood has 2 vehicles, so if you ever need a lift, just let us know, and we'll do what we can to save poor Princess Eleanor's tricycle and return it back to her, so you can still get about places without using your new or newer model Octavia. The Emperor of Stomaria claims that we again were meaning insult in regards to his attire and his presentation by remarking that he is well dressed with his imperial uniform, more so than our garbs and clothing. But alas, Emperor Andrew, do you not boast that you yourself have had a tailor-made suit made for special occasions and for your imperialness to shine and be above all else, to stand out amongst the crowd? Surely, remarking on such a beautiful presentation of dress is nothing but a compliment when you yourself have posted this out for all to see. Is it compliments you're fishing for? Or is it criticism that you would like to hear in regards to these pictures and advertisements of your uniforms? Because we felt to compliment rather than criticize. Because if we were to hypothetically criticize, your military uniform is not Stomarian. It is originally from another country. Isn't it, Emperor Andrew? And not only have you ripped off their uniform, you have decided to take military swords from a different nation.
But at the moment, it is just the Hungarian sabres in the Imperial Armoury. The Hungarian sabres in the Imperial Armoury. The Hungarian sabres...
In fact, is there not a video present on your YouTube that states that your intention is to take from other nations the best ideas and the things that you prefer? Is that what this is? Selective marketing, Emperor Andrew? Are you merely just using Waywood, just as you have done, for your own theft of our ideas, our designs and creativity, the things that we produce from our own imaginations for our nation? Are you looking to steal those things as you have done other nations? I claim that Emperor Andrew is a thief. This may come as a shock to some of you, but there are also other things that Stomaria has stolen from other nations and other places. The stater, historically, was the first ever coin or currency ever produced. Stomaria have stolen that stater.
Now, the name stater is actually something that we've taken from
I know you're watching this.
ancient Lydia. Something that we've taken from...
The name Stomaria was devised from a different place in origin, not originally created by the imperial family, but taken from somewhere else as well.
But the name Stomaria itself comes from a very specific part of Empire Earth. Comes from a very specific part of Empire Earth. Comes from a very specific part of Empire Earth.
His national anthem was sung and written by other people that weren't his citizens. He took that work from other people, unlike our genuine Micronational anthem, which was written and composed by Waywoodians and sung proudly by Waywoodians. The question is, where does it stop? Where does it stop? Which leads me on to his remark about my remark about him having more silver than Waywood. And he claims that he mints it. Does he? Is there any evidence at all to suggest this? Or is he indeed nothing but a highwayman? And that is where the real funding comes from. Stagecoach robberies. Shame on you. Shame. And while we're on the topic of shame, I tried my hardest to support Emperor Andrew when an unfortunate incident happened with his hair, and it was cut barbarically. He suffered at the hands of the Empress, who barbarically shamed him for what reasons have not been made public. These could have been internal affairs in regards to something going on in the hierarchy of Stomaria and upset within the imperial family, or indeed it could be a disguise for his highway robbery. But nonetheless, as supportive as we tried to be, we tried to compliment him yet again, to make him feel better about that hair, to make him feel better about it, because I knew he felt down about that terrible, barbaric state of a hairdo. He had luscious hair, fit for an emperor, and then it was crew cut like a common criminal. Coincidence. Furthermore, we now must also express our absolute disgust that Stomaria would dare ever approach the grounds of attacking the Prince of Waywood in such a way. Needless may we mention that Prince Torrin is much larger than Princess Eleanor, and a lot stronger. And if Prince Torrin had chosen to, he could have easily overpowered Princess Eleanor and won that battle. But Prince Torrin was raised better. Although by barbaric savages of the woodlands, he has respect for a royal member of another family and would never dare strike the Princess of Stomaria. Just as we always thought we were friends of Stomaria, not one of their family members would strike us or try to attack us. Alas, this was not the case, as it appears that Emperor Andrew has trained his child to attack ours. And this is an outrage. This is outrageous that he could do this on such a cunning and manipulative way. He has obviously taken Princess Eleanor's trike and held it at ransom and coerced her into attacking the prince, knowing full well that the prince would not attack a member of the royal family or the imperial family of Stomaria, and he would not attack a defenseless little girl, for he is strong, he is brave, and he turned the other cheek. Now let's move on to the claims of the tree surgery. The tree surgeons have blacklisted Waywood and will not work with us, and we are on a list which condemns us in the eyes of a tree surgeon or the tree surgeons of our area. This is not the case, and a lie. So when Emperor Andrew points that finger of slanderously calling me a liar, bear this in mind. I have not been blacklisted. There is just a long waiting list of tree surgeons that have work they need to do before we can book them in. For it is not an emergency job that they are being called out for. If we were to hire them as an emergency, it would cost us more money, or Emperor Andrew and his bullion and stash, his loot. It would cost him more from his loot to get the trees cut down. So we are not an emergency work. We are an appointment booking in work, and there are many that are catching up from lockdown where they weren't allowed tree surgeons to come and take trees and branches and things down in a non-emergency. But he does not mention this. Emperor Andrew claims that he was the flagship on the way back from Lithua and the head of our convoy. But this was never discussed, and nor was it ever arranged that this would be the agreement. For Emperor Andrew returning back to Stomaria would not have been able to lead us back to Waywood, for we're in two different places. So who was he trying to lead home? And if it were indeed us, why was he trying to lead us astray? Were we indeed a plan to be the next victim of the Stomarian highwaymen? Was he planning to lure us somewhere so he could hijack us? We changed our route last minute because we began to think suspiciously then. Now we know for certain. And we changed our route so that we wouldn't get lured into a trap. And we are going to take a diversion through Bath and go the back roads back, just because we can't be bothered to continue driving down the M4. We're bored already. Thankfully, our intuition saved us, because from what we know now, that was surely the case. And the Emperor boasting yet again. Not only has he been in Downton Abbey, but he's been in other things as well. And he will pour this down on us like an imperial spew to lord over us, to remind us of his status, to remind us that we are merely barbaric savages, heathens, under the boot of the oh so great and wonderful actor that is the Emperor, an actor and a thief, a liar, a highwayman, a man who would set his child upon a member of the Waywoodian royal family. And in true Emperor Andrew style, he will lie and condemn us yet again by failing to mention things like Waywood's gifts to Stomaria. He wanted to boast and brag that he indeed gifted us our badges. However, he fails to mention that we gifted him an entire flock of chickens. That's right, chickens. You can't eat badges, Emperor Andrew, that you cannot eat silver. And that silver will not fill your belly on a hungry day. However, the produce that Waywood is producing will. Now, if we don't accept your silver, or we decide that your silver is no longer good enough, how's that about a barter system now? Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Waywood's condemnation of Stomaria's condemnation of Waywood's condemnation of Stomaria. And the truth that we are now beginning to see, and we are beginning to now know who the real Emperor Andrew is. A man who's so low and morals are so questionable that he would send a child, his daughter, his toddler daughter, to attack Waywood. He's a coward. He's a coward, and he's a highwayman. A highwayman with the intentions to take what he can from us as his minions that he sees as beneath him. You're right when you said it's as the tip of the iceberg, Emperor Andrew. And just like any brave and courageous nation, we shall conquer the truth of what is underneath the surface. Ladies and gentlemen, I urge you to watch Stomaria's condemnation of our condemnation of Stomaria, so you can get the truth and see for yourself that these are facts. Until next time, when we will go over more things Waywoodian as we strive for greatness.
Right. Now I'm told at the very end of the video there is something that I need to see. Fantastic. All right. Now, I didn't want to talk during that video. There were a few times where I sort of interrupted a little bit, but I just wanted to let it sort of run. And there's no way I'm going to remember everything that was just mentioned to respond to. That's not really the intention of this video. It was just an off-the-cuff comment that King Raoul made soon after making this video, but hadn't published it. He said he would love to be a fly on the wall to see my reaction to it. And so that's what this is. But just a few points that I think I wanted to highlight. First of all, that last image, that's going to be the thumbnail of this video. There's no question about that. That's just fantastic. Second of all, the I love Raoul. He's funny. He's so out there, and he's a very good friend of mine, and I do appreciate him making these sorts of videos, and he has put obviously a lot of effort into it. He's taken audio clips from our conversations, he's taken snippets from our YouTube videos, he's gone through our Facebook page and sort of pulled photos from there. He's really gone to town, like really dedicated a lot of time to this video, I think. And I think some of my favourite points have to revolve around the bearded question and the theft of other aspects of other cultures. Because the Empire of Stomaria is indeed like a melting pot of cultural identity. And as is clear in the video, we've never really tried to hide that. We always tried to sort of highlight the fact that we look through sort of ancient histories and even more modern history and sort of pick out the elements that we think are best suited for us. But the anthem, that's something that I wanted to pick up on, only because the anthem that you heard, I believe, was the anthem that was recorded, and I was actually there at the time. And I thought it was quite funny, only because he goes on about proud Waywoodians singing the anthem, but I'm pretty sure that of the people that were singing their anthem, I'm sure half maybe either are no longer Waywoodians or were, what were they called? Exiles or something? They were like traitors or people that were trying to undermine Waywood. I think that it was at around that period, because I think this must have been sort of the beginning of 2020, perhaps. Maybe it was 2019. I honestly can't remember now, but sort of entered a bit of a dark period for Waywood. Soon after this anthem was sung, and I'm not giving him a jab for that, but I am giving him a jab only because he said that the lyrics and the music and the people singing it weren't Stomarian. And it's true that the people singing it weren't Stomarian. I'm recall that they were actually a group in Argentina that actually sung our anthem, but the lyrics we did give them. We did put the lyrics together ourselves, although that in itself was inspired from another source, which I don't think I've actually ever covered, but maybe I will in a later time. But I don't want to go on too much of a tangent. But what else was there? What else did they discuss? So, I mean, talks about Eleanor, because I mentioned Eleanor chasing around Prince Torrin with a sword, and Prince Torrin running around in fear and terror. And when I went over a few days ago, and as I say, Torrin and Eleanor were both there, and they both had their moments, but you know, they were good for the most part, but they both had their moments where they were just inconsolable for the stupidest little reasons. And when Torrin started, I thought, oh, this would be a good little thing, little talking point. But then Eleanor started to have that similar issue. In fact, Eleanor actually peed on me on the day, so I didn't really have a leg to stand on when it came to condemning Waywood from that front. But I don't think we'll go down the route of bringing the kids into it as much as we already have. I think we'll sort of pull that back a little bit maybe. But you know, it's all, as I say, it's all in jest, it's all in good fun. But yes, I very much enjoyed that video. I'm sure there were parts of that which I will remember later on and I would want to comment on, but it's just good fun, and that's all it is. But this video is not really for anyone other than Raoul, because as I said, he just wanted to see my reaction to it when it came. And the bottom line, Raoul, is that I very much enjoyed it. Thank you for putting the time and the energy and putting that together, because I did really enjoy it. It's always nice to stay humble, I think, to take these sorts of things on the chin, even when they're in jest, and just to keep the humour about it, I suppose. But yeah, I think that's about everything I wanted to cover. I'm curious to see, though, whether or not you're going to keep that intro for your future videos, or you're going to revert back to your usual. Because I don't know if that was a jibe at Stomaria. I assume it was, but if you're keeping that, then maybe it's just a genuine change that you wanted to make to emulate the superior intro, if you like. Because, you know, naturally our intros are, you know, well known and well respected throughout the community. Clearly, it's like no one's sick of hearing our anthem. No. Alright, so if you wanted to become a part of the Stomarian community, then please feel free to do so through our Patreon campaign, the link of which is in the description below as always. You can also find the details of the other Micronations that are involved in the Empire of Stomaria in the description below as well. But otherwise, if you did enjoy this video, then please feel free to give it a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll catch you in the next one.